Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave?
Don't be afraid, this is a low fat, and you are listening to HonestAnswerRadio.com. Now, where is the egg roll you guys promised me?
The views and opinions expressed on the Honest Answer Radio show are the opinions of Honest Answer Media and no one else. If you're hearing a syndicated broadcast of this show, don't hold it against the broadcaster. Rather, congratulate them on their openness, tolerance, and respect for the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America. Thank you very much.
I thank God for my life, for the stars and stripes. May freedom forever fly. Let it ring. Salute the ones who died, the ones that give their lives so we don't have to sacrifice all the things we love. A little chicken fried and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio up. I like to see the sunrise, see the love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of my precious child, and know a mother's love.
And happy Tuesday, everybody.
Lock and load. Let's rock and roll.
Got R. Lee Ermey there talking at the end. I didn't mean to talk over R. Lee. I forgot he was there. I didn't mean to be disrespectful. You don't think he's going to come yell at me, do you?
I hope he does.
No. R. Lee Ermey coming to yell bad.
I want to see that. I'm just saying.
No.
Well, introduce the show.
Oh, yeah. Now, who are we again? Oh, yeah. We are Honest Answer Radio. And thank you for tuning in here on HonestAnswerRadio.com. Because what we do here, we kick the mainstream media in the teeth every chance we get. And we're probably going to be kicking them in the teeth tonight because we'll be presenting some things to you that you're probably not going to hear over in any of the mainstream networks. But, well, I don't know.
Including Fox.
Yeah, you might hear it, but you won't hear it with this particular point of view. I'm going to, if it's the first time you're listening to us, I'm going to be the Marty half of your little dynamic hosting duo here.
And I'll be the Casey half. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I am the Casey half of this show. Yeah.
Well, happy Tuesday. I'm not even going to get on to anybody for acting up over the weekend. I mean,
we knew they was going to because we knew this filibuster thing was coming like a freight train.
Well, they ain't the only ones. I mean, they shooting up them all in Kenya. That is, if you're a non-Muslim, they're shooting you up there in Kenya.
And by shooting you up, he doesn't mean giving you some heroin.
And I hear that the Kenyan forces have the mall. They say they have the mall under their control, but that there are still hostages inside, and there are still attackers inside.
I think in Kenya, I think they have a slightly different idea of what under control means than what we do. I think there's a language barrier there.
I think so. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't, but I'm not real sure. I don't know. And, it's rumored to be an American. It is rumored to be among them. 2 Americans, I believe, and a Brit is believed to be among the attackers, amongst the terrorists. So, I don't know. Well, I'm going to let that one play out for a little bit before I make any kind of judgment on that. It's a horrible situation all the way around. But that's not our top news of the day. I mean, we're going to focus today more on the home front. We've talked a lot about Syria. I suppose I could play some clips of the president's eloquent speech that he gave today at the UN. Where he talked about Iran and Syria.
I'd rather you didn't.
Those just seem like some squirrels to me right now. Squirrels that I don't want to chase. My ADD isn't even kicking in enough to make me want to focus on them. No.
I said some things about it yesterday on the blog. So that's a place to go to. If at honestanswerradio.com, right there on the front page.
Right on,
if you scroll down enough, you'll see the post I made yesterday about what I think is going to happen between the president and Iran.
But today we've got more important fish to fry.
Today it's domestic policy.
Yeah, the home front. This meeting of the Senate that begun this week is very important to this country for a lot of reasons. Now, it's centered around Obamacare, and some of the Republicans are saying we've got to defund this now while we've got the chance, while the opportunity is here. We've got a chance to really do something, to do what our constituents elected us to do, what our constituents have been calling all day, telling us to do. Now's the time to do it.
But you know what, though?
What?
Some of those guys said exactly what you just said to themselves. And they went, nah.
And they're Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
They're fellow Republicans. Over on this weekend during the Sunday shows, Chris Wallace from Fox News had a chance to interview Ted Cruz.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
And you know what? Let's just let them play this one out. The Republicans, the old school, the old head GOP, the John McCains, the Mitch McConnells, they're the ones that's wanting to stand in Ted Cruz's way. And listen to what Chris Wallace said about the Republicans not supporting him and why.
Carl, this has been one of the strangest weeks I've ever had in Washington, and I say that because as soon as we listed Ted Cruz as our featured guest this week, I got unsolicited research and questions, not from Democrats, but from top Republicans who to hammer Cruz. Why are Republicans so angry at Ted Cruz?
Well, because this was a strategy laid out by Mike Lee and Ted Cruz without any consultation with their colleagues. Mike Lee of Utah lays it out on July 9th without having ever brought it up at the Thursday meeting of the senators to say, we've got an idea. I would suspect today, with all due respect to my junior senator from Texas, I suspect this is the first time that the end game was described to any Republican senator. They had to tune in to listen to you to find out what Ted's next step was in the strategy. And look, you cannot build a congressional majority in either party for any kind of action unless you are treating your colleagues with a certain amount of respect and saying, hey, what do you think of my idea? And instead they have dictated to their colleagues through the media and through public statements and not consulted them about this strategy at all.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. They say that Ted Cruz and Mike Lee, they didn't run it by the other Republican leadership. You know, when they had their regular Thursday lunch, they didn't ask, Mother, may I? Can we please bring this up? And you know what? Maybe, literally speaking, Ted Cruz did not go to the Republican leadership in the Senate and ask permission to bring this out to the floor.
I hope he didn't.
Well, you know what? I hope not, too. But, all right, so what? He's not required to do that. What that is Karl Rove and the rest of them, their ilk.
He didn't vet it through Karl Rove. That's what Karl Rove is saying.
So that he couldn't latch on to some of the, some of the glory that could come of it. But it's not even that, man. That's not how things are done. That's not how we do things.
And you know what? The way they do things has been working so well. Just ask President McCain.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait. We can't.
We can't ask him. No.
Well, let's just ask President Romney then. Oh, wait.
No.
President Dole. We could ask...
No. How about President Ryan?
No, not Vice President or Ryan either. Their way of doing things got Obamacare squelched in 2008.
No, it didn't. No, their way of doing things so far has been, and I heard this analogy during Ted Cruz's filibuster today. It's like in poker. If every time your opponent looked at you and said, if you told your opponent, if you raise the pot one more time, I'm going to have to fold, you would never win a hand of poker. Ever. That has been the Republican strategy thus far. It has been, all right, now look here. You're going to threaten us with going over some fiscal cliff. And we're going to tell you that we're not going to stand for it. But we're not going to stand in your way when you try to get, your stuff pushed through. We're more or less just going to stand down and wait until another election, until we can get more people. They keep saying over and over again, this is a fight you can't win. It's a fight they can't win. Well, so what? You know what? So what if they don't amass enough votes to get this through? Their constituents
Senate.
Will see. Yeah, in the
Senate.
But their constituents will see that they have fought for them. Their constituents will see that they just didn't go, well, thanks for getting me here. I'm going to lay down and die now. I'm going to lay down and just let the very people you hired me to stop, I'm just going to let them go ahead and do whatever they want.
Yeah, see, this is the time, if there ever was a time, just like over the drone issue, when Rand Paul was filibustering over drones.
Mm-hmm.
What he was filibustering over was just a vast abuse of governmental power.
He was taking a stand for the people that elected him.
Now,
matter of fact, he was taking a stand that the people back home in Kentucky overwhelmingly approved, of him doing. They were telling him, you better get your behind in there and filibuster like you said you would. That's what we sent you to do. So he did it.
And Ted Cruz, instead of going back and trying to tell some lie to the people back in Texas that sent him up there after he said he wouldn't vote to fund one penny of Obamacare. Okay, they sent him there because he said that.
That's right.
He didn't say that because they sent him there.
Now, they call him an obstructionist, but ironically enough, that's what those people, the millions, by the way, millions of Texans sent him to do. You get your butt up there to D.C., and you obstruct them from putting me in the poorhouse. I don't care what you got to do.
Now, remind me